My Christmas morning is the same every year. My dad makes us all omelets. My sister and I make these berry puff pastry things. That is every single year from as far as I can remember. So sometimes I like to play a game of what else could people have on Christmas morning. I always think of a casserole or something easy or something that you can make the night before, bake off in the morning. Something that I've been seeing on my Instagram nonstop lately, so people must just be like thinking of the same thing. I'm gonna make a ham and cheese croissant bake. I was gonna take it a step further and make it more into like a croque monsieur situation, but I don't feel like making bechamel today, so I love a ham and cheese croissant. I think that this is gonna be a winner. I guess there's only one way to find out, and we can get started. My oven is preheating to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. In a bowl, I've got my eggs. Of course, it wouldn't be something that I'm making if I didn't just like change it up a bit. The recipe calls for half and half, but I'm using heavy cream, some salt, a little bit of paprika, and some pepper. In her recipe, she uses thyme and rosemary, but I don't have any rosemary, and I feel like I don't want to use it in this, so I'm not going to. I'm just going to be using some thyme. I'm just going to strip the leaves. I don't even feel like I need to chop them, just throw them in. And I feel like with the thyme, it almost gives it a little bit of a croque monsieur vibe, so that's making me happy. But I'm also going to be adding some stuff that's not in the recipe to make it even more the vibe. So really, I guess this is like a hybrid for me right now. And that extra thing that I'm going to be adding, Dijon mustard. This is not in the recipe, but I think it would be delicious. Break the eggs and give it a good whisk. Of course, I went to Costco. I'm gonna have my way with this humongous box of croissants that I have, but I'm not gonna use all of them. I'm definitely going to make some breakfast sandwiches for the freezer. I'm just going to cut them into more bite-sized pieces. I'm going to start here. The recipe calls for 4 croissants. This is 3, so I have my 2.5 quart little casserole dish here, and I'm gonna see where it brings me, but if I have to add another croissant, I will. Twist my arm. And I just went ahead and buttered this thing, sides, corners, bottom, everywhere. Take a little piece, dip it into my mixture, pop it in. And don't worry about getting like the batter everywhere. The rest of it's going in anyway. I think I'm definitely going to stick with the 3 croissants, unless I should have had a bigger vessel, which is probably the case, but unless I missed it, I did not see where it was listed. Now for some more good stuff, I just have some thinly sliced Black Forest ham that I'm just gonna ribbon and shove in here. Kind of want to get it all over because the idea at the end of this is to be able to like scoop it, and I want to have stuff in all of the areas. And then I've got some Swiss cheese. This is just Swiss, but you can obviously, you know, if you want to splurge a little bit, you can get some Gruyere, but you know what, I got Gruyere money right now. So Swiss it is. In her video, she also mentions that like brie would be good in here, which I agree with. I think that would be really yummy. Nestle things in there too, like lift them up and poke them in. So, you know, everything's good and cheesy and meaty. I'm gonna take the remainder of the liquid, pour it on over. The recipe also calls for mozzarella cheese, but I don't have any. Then I'm gonna add some parm right on top, because why not? This is going into my preheated oven, so I'm just gonna leave it uncovered. Unless it's burning, then I'll put some foil over it for 35 to 40 minutes or until it is like a golden brown and it's set. Look at this thing. It smells so incredibly good in here. This is perfection. Straight out of the oven, I kind of want to give this a little bit of a glaze. She does some hot honey with this, but I just have some regular honey. I put a little bit of Dijon mustard in there and some of the thyme. I'm just gonna give it a little bit of a glisten. Sweet and savory has always been my kind of thing, but as far as breakfast go, this is right up my alley. I love a more savory breakfast rather than something too sweet. Finish it off with a little bit of some flaky salts. I need to dig into this right now. Yes, getting that cheese pull. That's so good. That honey really adds something. I highly suggest the Dijon mustard edition. Oh, that's so good. See people just like having tons of this on Christmas morning or like New Year's Day. I can totally see this being like a sweet something too, like a cinnamon sugar or even like berries and cream. I might have to surprise the family on Christmas morning with this because people need to know about this. But now I'm covered in honey. I hope you make this. What does your family do on Christmas morning? I'm very interested to hear. I love hearing traditions, but I also love to hear about new foods or dishes that I'm just not aware of. If you're needing something extra for your table, Sunday brunch, a holiday breakfast, you should make this. Enjoy.